I'm Cape Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly daily all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix, everything you need to know from the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we are taking a closer look at Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows issue number 12. Can Peter Parker overcome the terrifying new cyber goblin and save his young family at the same time? Well, let's hop on in together and find out. So, as we join the comic, we see Spider-Man duking it out with the newly constructed Goblin mech. Now, both Peter and the reader think that Normie Osborn is at the wheel of this giant mechanized creation, trying to end some sort of perceived blood feud between the Parkers and the Osborns. This thing is proving to be a lot for Spider-Man to handle, but in a nice way of things coming full circle, Jerry Conway remembers that he set up the X-Men in a previous arc, and because of that, they come to help their buddy Spider-Man out. Of course, this blessing very quickly turns into something of a curse as we discover the Mecha Goblin was actually built with old Regent tech, and as such can mimic and even drain powers from superpowered individuals, including the X-Men. Which means this thing just went from bad to, oh man, we should really patch this in the next update. Now, while Peter is duking it out with the Mecha Goblin, Mary Jane takes Liz Allen back to Oscorp in hopes of getting both the symbiote off her and trying to rescue her daughter from Normie's clutches. But you see, here's the big twist. Normie actually isn't piloting the Goblin mech right now. He was going to, but had a change of heart after Annie Mae talked to him. He didn't actually want to hurt anyone anymore, but Miss January, his assistant, and Harry's assistant before him, does still indeed want to get revenge on Spider-Man for what happened to her supposed lover Harry. Mary Jane swoops on in to try and save her husband. She succeeds, but in doing so she ends up getting the symbiote and indeed most of her costume vaporized off. Not all of it. Get your mind out of the gutter. This woman's a mother after all. This means that the only person who can stop the bad guy and save the day is Annie Mae Parker. Luckily for Spiderling, Normie had built his spider mech with a Star Warsian Achilles heel, one that's just big enough for her to sneak on in. You see, the power source for the Goblin mech is, yeah, you guessed it, a giant pumpkin. Say what you want about the Osborns, but at least they're consistent. With Normie's help, Annie is able to infiltrate the machine, destroy the power source, and bring the mech down. January is arrested, and both the Parker and Osborn families end up bearing the hatchet and putting away a lot of the bad blood and resentment that's been getting in their way all this time. Now, all of that in and of itself would be a sweet enough finale, but wait, there's just a little bit more. You see, the comic jumps ahead 8 years into the future. It's Annie's birthday, and her parents present her with a brand new spider costume. No longer just a spiderling, Annie hits the city as a full-fledged Spider-Woman with her parents as the comic winds down. So that's Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows issue number 12, everybody. Not only is it the end of this arc, but it also signals the end of Jerry Conway's time on this book, which is really sad because I thought he was one of the best things about this series. He basically wrote Spider-Man like he never stopped and brought with it a life experience that you just couldn't get from many other of the younger writers out there today. However, he does leave the book in a good spot. He wraps up all hanging plot threads and rewards longtime readers. And honestly, I don't know what more to say about it. If you've been liking Renew Your Vows up until now, I'm sure you're gonna like this. What does the future hold for the book? I don't know about the time jump, but whenever it does happen, I'll be sure to be here to tell you about it. I would give this one an 8 out of 10. So that's Spider-Man, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, why not check out some of the other videos I have available on my channel. Then you can follow me on social media at Cape Joel, so you always know what I'm doing next. And lastly, if you're in the market for some comic book trades but don't want to pay any exorbitant shipping and handling costs, then please head on down to the description of this video and use my book depository link. Not only will you get a great deal, but you'll be supporting me in the channel while you're at it. And until next time, everyone, this has been Cape Joel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again later. Bye-bye.